Welcome to the October 2nd meeting of the Fall River Sewer Commission. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. So, Mr. Furlan, will you do the roll call, please?
Yes, President Almeida,
Here?
Member Souza,
Yeah.
and Member Howiak.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for putting together the agenda. And I can see it's pretty involved, as usual. All right, so the first item on the agenda is the citizen input. Are we having any citizen input today?
Nobody signed up.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. Item number 2, minutes of the previous meeting. I think we were all sent the agenda electronically, so if you had the opportunity then to take a look at it, I would appreciate any comments you may have to make with respect to changes or comments per se. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 12th, 2024. And let me clarify. Was it Andrew?
Yep.
Andrew wasn't here at the time, so if we approve this, it'll be just approved by Mr. Souza and myself, right?
Correct.
All right, so
Should be, yes.
he has no say in it.
Yeah, correct. You know, he wasn't on the board at the time, so.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, of June 12th, I'm sorry.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, that takes us to item number 3. Wastewater improvement, solid processing upgrade, contract number 2, change order number 6, Daniel O'Connell, son. We're looking at $332,942. This being the 6th change, which we started with approximately about 42 million on this project.
45.
45 when you include CH2ML and all that.
DOC's contract alone was, they were 45.
All right, okay. Paulson, your caught, Ted.
Yeah, so the change order that's in front of you tonight, change order number 6 for Daniel O'Connell and Sons, has a number of items that was provided within your packet. Most of these items have been were discovered during the construction work that was ongoing, and they were administratively moved forward through the process as the construction to not cause delays. The costs that have been submitted have been reviewed by myself, my staff, as well as the construction manager, CDM Smith, who's on site with the resident engineer, and all of the costs seem appropriate for the work that was done. Some of the things that are included, I'll just run through: sludge cake loading drain lines relocation, electrical duct bank, an additional link that wasn't shown on the plans.
I wasn't shown here?
It wasn't shown on the plans, no.
How much was that for?
So that was for $33,000. That was an additional 100 feet of excavation, rebar, concrete, and everything for an electrical duct.
All right, is that included in the 332,942?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Dewatering building, additional asbestos removal. So this was areas that were unseen that asbestos removal would be needed within those areas. Dewatering building, corroded vent pipe replacement. Once we got into an area, the sewer vent pipe was corroded away. We needed to replace that. Existing gas separation manhole vent lines relocation. So that was for gas separator that's outside the dewatering building, elevator sump pump pit from the time that the project was designed to the time that we went out to bid and under construction, the plumbing requirements, I won't say the code, because the code didn't change, but what the plumbing inspectors were requiring changed. That's what that additional cost was for. Gasoline trap manhole venting, again, that was due to a request of the local jurisdiction on how the gas trap was plumbed compared to what was in the specifications and plans. New scum line to scum pump station, existing, so that was a scum line. It existed, once we excavated, there was an existing duct bank that wasn't expected, so we had to go around it. Demolition and removal of existing buried tanks, so there was a subsurface tank that was found once we started to excavate near the garage extension that needed to be removed, that was unknown under the surface. Acid traps and vents and neutralization tanks. This was within the lab. The local jurisdiction required us to put plumbing trap before the neutralization tanks underneath all the sinks within the laboratory area. Us and the designers did not feel that was required by code, but the local jurisdiction required us to do that. So the local plumbing inspector. Plant water line repair at the sludge pump station building, so that was when they were digging down, they hit a line that was unmarked and unknown. Dewatering building stairs modification. That was a small modification made to one of the stairways within the dewatering building.
Can I stop you there?
Yep. If you
19, city requested SHB3 weekly cleaning.
Yep.
What the hell, what's that?
So that was when we first got into the SHB, so the new building that we constructed for the solids handling. We were in the midst of the transition from Veolia to Infomark. So I wanted to we were transitioning into the new building as well, so new control rooms, new locker rooms, everything like that. I wanted to make sure that that building was staying clean and being taken care of, so I requested that the contractor provide us a price for, I believe it was 3 months of weekly, twice a week cleaning of that building.
How many weeks, roughly?
They have in here 9 weeks of cleaning.
Okay.
It was, as the board knows, prevailing wage
Right.
rules on this stuff,
Yeah.
and it
I
kills
get it.
costs sometimes.
When I saw a city requested, I thought maybe somebody from inspection or something went down there and, saw something that makes sense and,
Yeah, no, that was something that I requested from the
All right.
contractor to make sure that that building stayed up to date. Now we have a cleaning company through the O&M contractor that comes in on a bi-weekly basis.
okay. So we're looking at $332,942 bucks. And all of these have the blessing of Chemtressa, right?
Yeah, CDM. Smith has reviewed all of these, as well as our on-site engineering rep.
All right. For the benefit of Mr. Howiak, if you don't know already, we have a contract of this nature, and we have an engineering company that's also, we're paying to, in a sense, set the specifications and follow through on the construction. And when there's anything that looks different from what was in the bid, they go ahead and in fact say, yeah, that's okay to charge the city for it and so forth. So it isn't something where we do something blind here and so forth. So that the engineering company that's down there is a company that we've had on board with the commission for a long time, have done many projects for us, and they're called Chemtressa McGee. And I'm sure there's a few other names that go with it, right, Paul? I mean, it's
CDM,
just-
CDM
yeah,
Smith, they
So-
changed this.
So, just so that you understand what we're doing here. Hopefully you...
Appreciate that.
Okay. All right, let's take us through what this means in terms of this. So this is number 6, change order. All right, this is somewhere in our information that states that we've already gone through almost 1,100,000 almost of previous change orders.
Yes.
All right, so adding this on, we'll take it to about $1,400,000. And we're still below the 10% threshold at this point in time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. These particular items took us how far into the completion of the contract, would you say? In other words, I'm anticipating, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that this contract's supposed to be done the end of November.
So currently, the contract is past the completion date.
Right.
There is a pending time extension that was submitted by the contractor that's under review, and we're in discussions with them. My anticipated completion date right now by the contractor on their schedule is December 2nd, the end of
Okay,
November.
the end of November.
Yep.
Okay. What I'm trying to get around in my head is $332,000 worth of change orders. Does that take us like till now, or is this what's went up till June or something?
Yeah, this doesn't bring us up to now, so this work was pre-existing. We still do have a number of PCOs, potential change orders that are outstanding, so they're still either under review or they haven't been approved yet.
Okay.
So we're probably looking, if I had to throw, maybe beginning of June or so, just for that. Now we're into the administration building. And I already know of a couple of issues that we've had through there. And then we also have we're in the gravity thickeners as well. So those are the 2 locations where we have a lot of work ongoing right now.
Okay.
So
Are they shooting to complete them by the end of this month, end of November?
that's what their schedule brings them out to. I expect that they're going to be right in that ballpark.
Right.
The way.
Because right now we're about a year over.
Yeah. So July 31st was contract completion date
Of this year. Okay.
Yeah. So we're a couple of months past now. Again, they do have in a claim against us. The time extension. Again,
Are they saying we're harassing them?
No.
All right, okay.
They did a baseline schedule analysis. They've gone through and fully reviewed the change orders and how the change orders affected their baseline schedule. Some of the things in here, like the acid vents, that was out of our control. That was out of their control. That potentially added. That was brought up by the local jurisdiction once the lab was almost done. We actually had to go back in, open up some of the walls to install vents, because you can't have a trap against an acid vent, which is another trap. So you have to put a vent in between acid neutralization tank. You have to put a vent in between the 2. So they analyzed all that and came back to us. I expect that having further discussions. They just got back to me, their revised one. I'm revising it now with the engineers. I'm going to send something back to them on that.
Okay. I got no problem with this at this point in time. I think in the final analysis, when the whole thing's said and done, everything else, I think, as if you pointed out, there were some issues that were probably challenging and so forth that's going to have to be addressed. But we've gone this far, we gotta get this done. This is a big thing that we're doing down there.
Yeah.
And people are expecting some immediate, some good change that's gonna affect what we're trying to do down there and everything else. And when you put a dollar on this whole thing, it's gonna end up costing about $70 million. So I'm kinda anxious to see it done because I wanna run down Bay Street and, enter in through the gates of heaven and see some great things happening.
Yeah, I'm without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Okay, anybody have any questions with respect to what we're trying to do here, or in respect to some of these items? I'm sure it's tough to wrap your head around all of these type of things because just the terminology on some of them will make your head spin a little bit. But if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve change order number 6 in the amount of $332,942.40 for, what is this, phase 2? Am I right?
Contract.
Contract 2
Yep.
at the wastewater treatment. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Next item. Professional services contract, what's that, CO number 4, contract number 4?
Change order number 4.
Oh, change order, I'm sorry. I should know that. Stantec, $319,000. Now this, from what I understand, looking at it, this has to do with the, mostly to do with what goes on Oak Grove Ave,
Yeah.
right?
So number 3 and number 4 are tied together. They're both for the same project. One is for Stantec, the one we're discussing now, the engineering firm. The next one is the for Bisco Contracting Corp., the construction company.
Okay. Again, Stantec is the engineering company that's basically operating as our eyes on the project that's going on down there, right?
Yep, construction management and resident inspection.
Okay. You want to add anything to this?
Yeah, so just, I can give a brief overview why these 2 change orders are in front of you. So this is originally a water contract. The contract was funded by ARPA originally for replacement of, we started out with 15,000 linear feet of water main and the affected roadways, reconstruction, sidewalks, and pavement. There was a change done to the project which we would, under the original contract, did from Oak Grove Avenue, from Bedford Street to Locust Street. There was a change order on the contract that did Locust Street up to New Boston Road so that all Oak Grove would be done. So when they went back in, they did the second portion of Oak Grove Avenue from Locust up to New Boston Road. They replaced the water main. They came back in and they were doing the pavement work. When they were in there with the pavement machine grinding up, there was 3 large voids found underneath the asphalt in the middle of Oak Grove Avenue.
Voids of sewer line?
No material, no stone or anything underneath it. So a little bit odd. I'm like, okay, so right on top of the sewer line, so we get our camera out there and we cameraed the sewer line. The sewer line from Oak Grove, and I think go forward on a couple of the slides. This is just an example of a couple of spots where we found issues, but this is our CCTV camera inside the 18-inch pipe on Oak Grove Avenue. But that's supposed to be a round clay pipe. You can see where it's partially dropped there. The top here is cracked, dropped. This one is very, very egg-shaped with cracks straight across the top. This was just continuous on that whole entire section of Oak Grove Avenue. Manhole after manhole after manhole. This was the condition that we found the sewer in.
Wow.
For us to go and pave over this street, knowing that there was multiple voids there, meaning most likely the sewer may have surcharged, water came out, sucked material back in, and that's what creates this unstable nature. Those spots would just grow, and eventually we would end up with the street collapsing in. So we were supposed to pave the street, do final pavement on the street. I stopped it at that point. We looked at it and evaluated, and got the price to be able to replace that sewer. It's an 18-inch sewer. It's a very deep sewer. We're talking 12 to 20 feet deep.
Really?
Through-
That
through-
deep?
Yeah, through this whole entire corridor.
How old, if I may, how old is that line, do you think?
So it was installed really starting 1905 was some of the first plans that I could find, and then all the way up to 1916 it was increased. I think whoever installed that sewer line was paid by the manhole, because there are so many manholes in that line. I just don't know why.
Yeah.
But it's every 100 feet there's a manhole.
That's crazy.
I haven't seen it that close. But anyways, which on the construction end is tough, because you do from a manhole to a manhole, then you can pull all your boxes, take everything out of the ground, all your shoring, jump over the manhole, and then do another section above it. So we determined that it would be best to replace this section. So our plan is to be able to move forward to replace this section, so from Locust up to New Boston Road. There is another parallel sewer, so bypass-wise, there's another parallel sewer that's a lot higher, and
Right in that road?
same corridor, yep. So it's off to the side. It's on the west side of the street. It's an 18-inch. That takes the force main from the President Ave pump station. So we're gonna be able to bypass from that lower main up to that upper main, so we won't have to have bypass running all the way down the street and stuff like that. So that's a good cost savings ability in this project, but it's not an option to be able to use that other sewer full-time, because the elevation difference is extremely different, so.
All right, so we're talking about ARPA money here.
So we did not get ARPA funding for this. All the other work was paid for from ARPA. This is gonna come from our open loan authorization
Really?
that was approved in November 2017.
And right now, we're looking at, if you take the two of them together, what Pisco's done, we're looking at about 2.5 million so far.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is work that hasn't been started yet. They're planning on being able to get in there and start it sometime in the near future.
Say that again?
So this sewer replacement work has not started yet.
Okay.
They're hoping to get in there in the near future and be able to do this work.
Okay. Did this go out to bid?
No, so as I said, this was a change order to their existing contract, the water contract that they have.
All right, but I'm talking about Pisco.
No, it's a change order to their contract as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Definitely something we gotta do.
Yeah, it's an unforeseen condition of this project. It's a 3039M project, so it is eligible for the change order. With a review of their cost on both, engineering services is engineering services. So that cost is directly in line with what we pay for those services.
When do you think this is gonna start?
I expect probably within the next month, and it'll probably be about a 2 to 3 month period. Then they'll let it sit for the rest of the winter and the spring, and then pave out the balance of Oak Grove early next summer.
Do you think there's gonna be some kickback as to, here we are, we just resurfaced it. We just did a minor resurfacing of the,
Yeah,
and
so
then we're gonna go and rip it up.
right, there is going to be some people that are going to claim that. Originally when we had the pavement in there, it was for a 3.5-inch base course and a 2-inch top course. When they actually paved, I had them put just 1.5 inch base course. with the anticipation. I said if we don't do the sewer, if the sewer, that was before we cambered and everything, if we don't end up doing the sewer, you can just do an intermediate cost, but we did a lesser base cost.
Yeah, that's
to-
good.
to
That's
try to
smart.
save
That's
money.
smart thinking.
So we're gonna be able to patch this, then we'll do a leveling cost, intermediate cost on top of that, and then just a top coat.
How long do you think this will take?
It'll probably be about 2 to 3 months.
Okay. Anybody have any questions with regard to this?
No, I don't know.
Do you, we can do both of these contracts at this point in time, right?
Yeah, I've discussed both of them, if you take them, vote on
Take them separately, you need them, take them separately together, okay. Okay. Are you satisfied with Stantec?
Yeah, Stantec has been doing our water inspections on water main replacement. They've been,
They're the ones that's going around, that's changing from the sidewalk into the people's houses?
nope, so that's Woodward and Curran is doing the lead service replacement. Stantec has done the water mains. It used to be FST,
Oh, okay.
Face Boffin and Thorndike.
Yeah, I remember.
And they've been with the city since 2000 or so, doing those projects.
Okay. All right, anybody have any questions about this?
No.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve contract number 2, change order number 4, professional services agreement, water main and roadway improvements with Stantec Consulting Services in the amount of $319,000. Anybody make that motion?
I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Takes us to the construction part of it. Contract number 1, change order number 4, Bisco Contracting Corporation, which in the amount of $2,157,000 will complete this phase. And this is all on Oak Grove Avenue. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, it takes us to item number 6, final change order number 3 for Bisco Contracting Corporation. Before, I just had a thought. On the back to item number 5, with respect to Bisco Contracting Corporation, this is change order number 4. The other 3 were roughly, can you relate my mem?
About $2 million. Again, those were all approved by the water board, 'cause it was
Oh, okay,
originally a
all
water
right,
board
okay, that's what I
contract.
wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
It was under the water
initial,
board.
initial contract was I believe it was a $10 million contract initially
Okay,
with them.
all right.
That was bid.
All right. Okay, item number 6, Wilson Road, final change order number 3 to Bisco Contracting Corporation, the amount of $58,581.31. When I understand this is a cleanup, this is probably a cleanup change order to get us to the end of the contract, I hope.
Yeah, this is the final change order on this contract. This change order actually isn't 100% related, well, it's part of this project, but it wasn't part of the construction of the building. So if you remember, about 2 years ago, we had a sewer collapse in the industrial park.
Yeah, and part of that tied in,
Right.
well, did it, I don't know if it tied into the pumping station, did it?
Yeah, so we had one that came from Sykes Road. That was one of the change orders
Yeah.
that sewer collapsed. This one was over next to the landfill. That was the main interceptor that comes down by the landfill, which we paid under this project. About 6 months ago, we had another collapse just downstream from where we replaced manhole to manhole before. as Pisco was in that area, we had them go back in, do a spot repair of that sewer so that we could, so that the sewer could.
Has that
work
been
again.
paid for?
That's what this change
That's what
order
this is?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was $58,000 for them to go and do a spot repair of that. Currently, I'm working with SRF and the permitting agencies, this is the third or fourth time we've been in that area with sewer collapses. And it is part of the Mothers Brook sewer that we've been designing. I'm working with those agencies to go in and do a emergency contract to the replacement of that sewer line in that area for about a 3,000-foot section. So in future meetings, I'm sure you'll see that in front of you.
They did a nice job. I tell you, I went by there several times. That's a nice job they did. It's very similar to what they did behind the Newport Creamery.
Yeah.
You know, it's buttoned up nice and tight, looks good compared to what God Almighty was there before. Oh my God, I can't believe that thing lasted the centuries that it did. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Glad to see that. So.
Yeah, these new pump stations, we've done the one at President Ave right behind Newport Creamery. We've done the south end, which is down in the
Spectrum, down at Spectrum,
lighting
yeah.
in that area.
Yeah.
And this one, you know, staff have been very happy with the ease of maintenance and being able to work on the stations and stuff like that.
Are we good? What's the next one? Is the one down on Ferry Street next?
Ferry Street was slated, is slated to be done, but that's a very tight lot down in that area. And there's a property owner around that,
Yeah, he's putting up a new business. He's putting up a new building right across the street from that.
I have heard that.
And I'm sure he's probably gonna say, you guys gotta create a lot of dust to my customers and all that stuff.
Yeah, I can tell you, sewer department has not approved any
Yeah.
changes in the buildings down there, but I have seen, I don't.
Hey,
building
at some point in
department
time,
has,
it's
so.
gonna be done.
Yeah, no, that pump station is one that's gonna need to be done. There is multiple development discussions down in that area. You have the old Quaker, which was across the street, which is now a vacant lot. You have the lot where Pier 52 is, that has conceptual design of large buildings and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that station's future depends on what happens in that general area as well.
What do we got, 16 pumping stations in the city?
17.
17.
That we own and maintain.
Yeah.
There's 3 other privately owned and maintained stations that I'm aware of.
The one on Wilson Road, just up the road,
Hathaway
that's a
Commons.
contract, the Hathaway Commons. That's still private, right?
That's still private, so again, the sewer commission did an agreement with the association to take over that pump station. Every year or so, I get an email, how come you guys haven't taken over this station yet?
Really?
They have not fulfilled the agreement that
Yeah.
agreement that they made with the sewer commission. One of the requirements was, because that station is on easements on 2 property owners' lots with no real right of access, we asked that it be subdivided. They needed to subdivide it and put it into its own lot that we would be able to have fee to. They have not done that, so we haven't been able to take that station
I think the
over.
original agreement, you know, if we were to take over it, there was something like $34,000 of renovations that we said they needed to do before we even take it. And I think that just put a big squash on everything when they went to I guess they went to the owners of the pumping station. And
Yeah, you know, like I said, I know every year or so I get hit up, how come you haven't taken this over? And I think it's when they go out to the association members and ask them for the yearly dues.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, and I repeat what I send them the emails that I've sent them before. This point, and this point of the agreement have not been met yet.
Yeah.
Once those are met, let us know. We can. I've always said, because that was from 2018, that
It
agreement.
was. It was a long time. I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember it.
So that was 6 years ago. So-
John, who, John, that's in
John
the room, John
Runcorn.
did a great survey on it.
Right, I've always said that in their response, it's been such a long time, we would want to go out, resurvey, make sure everything's in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
condition it was back then, or better, so.
Okay, very good. So that's going to put that one to bed. Anybody got any questions on this? This one here is right on Wilson Road. If you ever go up, make a right at the light, go up Wilson Road. It's just just past the overpass, right?
Yeah, just over the bridge.
Right on the left. You look at it, and it's really, it's really impressive in a sense. But if you really knew what was there, you look at it and say, oh my God.
Yeah.
What were we doing back in 1850? All right, okay. Anybody have any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the final change order number 3 to Bisco Contracting Corporation, the amount of $58,581.31.
I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. That takes us to the last item on the agenda of the business. I just got a couple of, I made a couple of notes, Paul, just for my own edification. Woodward and Curran, did they start the contract for cleaning out the line down by the railroad tracks?
So we're planning on being in there, so they have their contractor on board to be able to do that cleaning. We're planning, we've been working with MBTA, Keolis, who has now taken over operation of those tracks.
Who?
Keolis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Keolis is the large train, is the company that operates the commuter rail for
Yeah.
MBTA. So they've been in the discussions with us because they're now
Yeah.
involved in operating the tracks.
Yeah.
So we've needed to work with them, coordinate with them, but it looks like we'll be in there next week with the contractor to
Okay.
do that, to start that cleaning.
Good.
Just to make the commission aware, the cost, we came in with an estimated cost. The cost was higher to get in there and clean those lines, so we'll come back to the commission with an
Really?
increase on that.
Yeah. Okay, the other thing, do you think we're going to see anytime in the near future the monthly operating report for the wastewater treatment plant?
If you have not gotten them, I will get them to you, so.
I haven't seen them.
Okay.
Have they started them?
Yes, so they did start them. The first month was a
I
little
get
bit
them.
behind.
Yeah.
Last month,
I get to see.
Oh, you did it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, last
They're probably
month we
sitting
did-
in the office.
last month we did get them. Again, the month just closed out. It's due to us by the 15th.
Okay, all right. I'll stop in the office, whatever one's down there, I'll come and pick them
Yeah,
up.
they did make some changes to it. There was some additional information that I wanted back in there after I went through last month, so they're gonna add it in next month. So
Right.
if there's anything else
Right.
that the commission wants to see, just let us know. But yeah, Courtney will make sure she gets those out, and just coordinate with Courtney what's the best way to get it to you, whether we mail it to you or.
Yeah. No, you can.
Or you
yeah.
come
Just,
in and
I'll
pick it
pop
up.
it up, because I think the postage on it's
Yeah,
kind of
no
heavy.
mail, no mail.
You know, so.
Forget the mails.
You know, we're
So
working.
Forget the mail.
You got it in the
Probably get
mail?
it 3 months later.
Yeah, if we get it in there, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
working with the contractor too. We may be able to distribute it in the future electronically, so.
And the other thing I got is, did they ever find a project manager for the site yet?
Yeah, so we do have a project manager. Infomark has it. John Manji is the project manager.
What's his name?
John Manji.
John Manji.
Yep. Manji.
Very good. You met him?
Yeah, I've
Yeah?
talked to him almost every day.
Good.
He came, he ran Taunton wastewater for a number of years. Then he was working for another engineering firm running some smaller facilities up on the Cape that the engineering firm was overseeing. And he just came to Infomark for our
Good.
facility, so, yeah, he's been doing good. The APM has been good. They're right now, I don't know if they're fully staffed, or they might be down one staff member right now, which is the first time our plant's been fully staffed in a long time.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah, so.
very good.
That's a plus.
Anybody else have anything you want to bring up right here? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Aye. Second.
You make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah.